Have you ever stood up too quickly and felt the world tilt beneath your feet? A sudden wave of dizziness washing over you like an uninvited guest. For a fleeting moment, you might wonder if it's just a quirk of the day, until it happens again. For many seniors, this isn't a rare, fleeting sensation, but a persistent shadow that looms over their lives, threatening their independence with every unsteady step. Imagine this: a grandmother reaching for her favorite teacup, only to sway and clutch the counter. A retired teacher pausing mid-lesson with his grandkids, afraid he might topple. Dizziness isn't just a nuisance, it's a thief, stealing confidence and replacing it with fear of falls that could shatter bones or dignity. What's maddening is how few realize the power they hold to fight back. Not with pills or potions, but with something as simple as the food on their plate. Yes, diet, often overlooked, can be the key to banishing those disorienting moments and restoring balance naturally. The even better news: doctors have pinpointed specific foods and habits that can anchor seniors to stability, offering a lifeline to steady days. In this journey, we'll uncover 5 essential steps, practical, powerful, and within your reach, to keep dizziness at bay. These aren't complicated fixes. They're small shifts that boost circulation, nourish the brain, and plant your feet firmly on the ground. If you've ever felt that heart-sinking wobble while stepping out of bed, strolling through the park, or even standing still, this is for you. Stick with me to the end, because the final habit we'll explore is one most people miss entirely, yet it might just be the secret to stopping dizziness before it dares to strike. Let's dive in. Number 1. Increase magnesium-rich foods. Picture this: a quiet morning, the sun spilling through the kitchen window, and 74-year-old George sipping his coffee. He's always been active, gardening, walking his dog, tinkering in his shed, but lately, a strange unsteadiness has crept in. One day, mid-stride across his backyard, the world spun, and he stumbled, catching himself on the fence. "Just old age," he muttered, brushing it off. But when it happened again, stronger, scarier, he knew it wasn't just time playing tricks. For George, and countless seniors like him, dizziness isn't a random fluke. It's often a silent cry from a body starved of magnesium. A mineral so vital, it's like the glue holding balance together. Magnesium steadies blood pressure, keeps nerves firing smoothly, and ensures blood flows freely to the brain. Without enough of it, vessels tighten, oxygen dwindles, and suddenly, a simple turn of the head feels like a roller coaster ride. The trouble is, magnesium slips away with age. Diets heavy in processed snacks, those salty chips or sugary pastries George loved, strip it further. Caffeine, medications, even the natural wear of years, all conspire to drain this essential spark. When levels dip too low, the body falters, muscles weaken, heartbeats stutter, and dizzy spells strike without warning. For seniors, it's a hidden epidemic. Studies show many lack this mineral, yet the signs are dismissed as normal aging. But it doesn't have to be. George's story proves it. After that backyard scare, he visited his doctor, who tested his levels and found them wanting. The fix? Not a prescription, but a plate. Spinach sautéed with garlic, almonds sprinkled over yogurt, creamy avocado on toast, a ripe banana with breakfast, pumpkin seeds tossed into a salad. These became George's allies. Within weeks, he felt the shift. Steadier steps, fewer wobbles, a return to his old self. Even his dog noticed, bounding alongside him with renewed vigor. Why does it work? Magnesium relaxes blood vessels, letting oxygen-rich blood rush to the brain unhindered. It calms nerves too, so sudden movements don't send the world spinning. If leafy greens aren't your taste, sip mineral water laced with natural magnesium, or talk to your doctor about a supplement. George did, cautiously, and it sealed the deal. Imagine the relief of walking without that nagging fear, the joy of bending to tie your shoe without a head rush. It's not magic, it's a mineral, waiting in your kitchen. Start small. Add a handful of nuts, a slice of avocado, and watch balance bloom. For George, it was a second chance at the life he loved. Could it be yours? Number 2, eat potassium-rich foods daily. Now let's step into Evelyn's world. At 78, she's the kind of woman who radiates warmth, baking cookies for her grandkids, tending her rose garden, sharing stories of her youth over tea. But for months, a quiet intruder shadowed her days. Dizziness. It crept in when she stood too fast, a light-headed fog blurring her vision as she reached for a mixing bowl or climbed the stairs. One afternoon, stretching for a jar on a high shelf, she swayed, her hand grasping the counter as her heart raced. "I'm too old for this," she sighed, resigned. But Evelyn wasn't doomed by age. She was missing potassium, a mineral as crucial as magnesium, yet often ignored until it's gone. Potassium is the body's silent guardian, balancing fluids, steadying blood pressure, and keeping nerves sharp. Without it, dehydration sneaks in, blood pressure dips, and the brain starves for oxygen. Dizziness follows like a thief in the night. For seniors, the stakes are higher. Aging bodies lose potassium faster, and diets lean on convenience over nutrition. Evelyn didn't notice her levels slipping. There were no neon signs, just a creeping fatigue, a brain fog that dulled her sparkle, and those unsteady moments that made her question her strength. Yet the solution was closer than she thought, hiding in the foods she already loved. Her doctor clued her in after that shelf scare. Low potassium was the culprit. Evelyn fought back with flavor. Bananas sliced into her oatmeal, spinach wilted into soups, sweet potatoes roasted with herbs, oranges bursting with juice at lunch. She even swapped her usual canned soup for hearty beans a few times a week. The change wasn't instant, but it was real. Within weeks, the fog lifted, her steps grew sure, and that dizzy wobble faded like a bad memory. She baked again, her kitchen alive with laughter, her roses blooming brighter under her steady hands. Potassium didn't just fix her balance, it gave her back her days. Why does it matter? Potassium keeps blood flowing smoothly, preventing those sudden drops that leave you reeling. It hydrates from within, fending off the dehydration that amplifies dizziness. One potassium-rich bite a day, a banana, a handful of spinach, can rewrite your story. Evelyn's proof, from shaky to strong, all from her plate. If you're nodding along, feeling that familiar wobble in your own life, try it. Comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. Your voice fuels this journey. Number 3, consume omega-3 fatty acids. Imagine Harold, 76, standing in his garage, surrounded by the scent of sawdust and the hum of his favorite old radio. A retired mechanic, he spent years fixing engines, his hands steady, his mind sharp. But lately, something's off. Turning to grab a wrench, the room tilts, a dizzy spell pinning him to the workbench. At first, he chalked it up to age. "The body's just winding down," he grumbled. But when it hit again, walking to the mailbox, He felt a flicker of fear. What if he fell? What if this was the new normal? Harold didn't know it then, but his brain was sending an SOS. Poor circulation was starving it of oxygen, and the fix wasn't far, just swimming in the foods he'd never thought twice about. Omega-3 fatty acids are the unsung heroes of stability, a trio of fats that keep blood vessels supple, inflammation at bay, and the brain humming. For seniors like Harold, they're a lifeline. As we age, arteries stiffen, blood flow slows, and oxygen trickles instead of floods. Dizziness, vertigo, even a muddled mind creep in. Omega-3s fight back, softening those vessels, boosting circulation, and delivering oxygen where it's needed most. Yet too many miss out. Harold's diet leaned on meat and potatoes, hearty but light on the fats that could save his balance. His doctor saw the pattern and pointed him to a new path. Fatty fish, like salmon, mackerel, sardines, or, for a land-based twist, flax seeds, walnuts, chia seeds. Harold wasn't a fish guy. Decades of grease-stained hands didn't pair with seafood, so he started small. Salmon twice a week, grilled with lemon, became a ritual. Flax seeds sprinkled over his morning oatmeal added a nutty crunch. Weeks passed, and the garage felt steadier underfoot. The dizzy spells faded, his focus sharpened, and he even caught himself whistling again, tools in hand. Omega-3s weren't just food, they were fuel for a brain that refused to quit. Picture it: blood flowing freely, inflammation easing, each step surer than the last. If fish isn't your speed, try walnuts in a salad or a chia pudding dessert. Small bites, big wins. Harold's proof, from shaky to solid, one meal at a time. Want sharper days, fewer wobbles? Omega-3s are calling. Number 4. Stay hydrated with electrolyte-rich fluids. Now meet Margaret, 81, a woman whose life is a tapestry of quiet joys, knitting blankets for her church, tending a windowsill of herbs, sipping tea as she watches the world go by. But dizziness had begun to unravel her peace. She'd always been diligent, 8 glasses of water a day, a habit from her nursing days. Yet there she was, mid-stitch, feeling the room sway, her hands trembling as she set down her needles. One morning, rising from her armchair, the lightheadedness hit hard. She gripped the armrest, heart pounding, wondering why water wasn't enough. The answer? Dehydration isn't just about fluid, it's about balance, and Margaret's body was losing its grip on both. As we age, the body's thirst signals dim. Fluids slip away unnoticed, and blood volume drops. Dizziness swoops in, swift and merciless. But it's not just water the body craves, it's electrolytes, sodium, potassium, magnesium, that keep nerves firing and muscles steady. Without them, even a hydrated body falters, blood pressure dips, and the brain scrambles for oxygen. Margaret's plain water wasn't cutting it. Sports drinks tempted her, but the sugar and neon hues turned her off. Her doctor offered a gentler fix: coconut water, sipped cool in the afternoon, a pinch of sea salt in her glass. Subtle but potent, hydrating fruits like watermelon and cucumber, bursting with natural minerals. She started slow. Coconut water with lunch, oranges as a snack, a broth simmering with veggies for dinner. Within days, the fog lifted. Her knitting needles danced again. Her herbs thrived under steady hands, and that dizzy haze retreated. Electrolytes didn't just hydrate, they restored her rhythm, syncing body and mind. Imagine the relief, standing without a wobble, moving through your day with quiet confidence. It's simple. Swap one glass for something richer. Nibble a hydrating fruit and the difference sings. Margaret's back in her armchair, tea in hand, steady as ever. Comment number 4 below if this resonates. I'd love to know you're with me. Number 5. Add vitamin B12 to your diet. Finally, let's walk with Robert, 79, a man whose mornings once brimmed with energy, shuffling cards for poker with friends, tending his vegetable patch, laughing over coffee. But lately, he'd wake to a fog, light-headed, as he swung his legs from bed, memory fuzzier than it should be, a tingling in his fingers he couldn't shake. Getting old's no picnic, he'd joke, but the dizziness wasn't funny when it lingered, turning routine into a gamble. He didn't suspect vitamin B12, a nutrient so quiet it's easy to miss, until it's gone, and the brain and nerves cry out for help. B12 is the backbone of nerve health, red blood cell production, and oxygen delivery. When it dips, a common plight, as stomach acid wanes with age or meds interfere, the body stumbles. Blood carries less oxygen, nerves misfire, and dizziness pairs with fatigue, brain fog, even balance woes. Robert's diet had eggs and meat, but absorption faltered. His body couldn't keep up. A blood test confirmed it. Low B12 was dimming his spark. His doctor laid out the plan. More eggs scrambled with peppers, fish grilled with herbs, a supplement to bridge the gap. Some need injections, but Robert's fix was simpler, tastier. A month in, the change hit. Mornings brightened, dizziness faded, his poker game sharpened. He hoed his garden with gusto, cards flew from steady hands, and that tingling ebbed away. B12 didn't just steady him, it rekindled his fire. Picture it. Nerves humming, blood rich with oxygen, each day clearer than the last. Eggs for breakfast, fish for dinner, or a fortified cereal if meat's not your thing. Small shifts, massive gains. Robert's living proof. Balance isn't lost. It's waiting in your next bite. Final thoughts, take a breath. Think back on this journey. Dizziness isn't your fate. It's a puzzle with pieces you can hold. Magnesium, potassium, omega-3s, electrolytes, B12. These aren't distant dreams. They're in your kitchen, your choices, your power. George reclaimed his garden. Evelyn her roses, Harold his tools, Margaret her knitting, Robert his cards. Each a testament to small changes that rewrite the story. Which hit home for you? Have you felt that wobble, that fear, and pushed through? Share it below. Your voice might lift someone else. This isn't just about dodging discomfort. It's about standing tall, moving free, living bold. Start with one. A banana, a fish fillet, a salty sip, and feel the shift. Thank you for walking this path with me. Drop a comment. What did you learn? What will you try? Like, subscribe, share if this sparked something. Your support keeps this alive. See you next time.